Today's gospel, we're given a parable. As Jesus says, he addresses it to his disciples, that's all of us, of the necessity of being vigilant, of always living our Christian life to its fullness, not to grow lack in the vigor that we had as early Christians, as ideal Christians. Today, as we do every November, we look at the issue of stewardship, how each of us is responding to our duty to be active and participating members of our parish. This Sunday, I've invited Ben and Sharon Boyden to share with us the way in which they practice good stewardship within our parish. Ben and Sharon.
Thank you, Father. Hello, as Father said, I'm Sharon Boyden. This is my husband, Ben. And we've been parishioners here at St. Mary's for several years. And yes, we are proud members of the Lancaster Boyden clan. And when Father asked us to speak to you today about Catholic stewardship, we were really honored. And as I was preparing, or we were preparing our talk, we thought, what does stewardship mean? And, in its broadest definition, it's a careful and responsible management of something that's entrusted to one's care. But Catholic stewardship requires an additional call to action, to use our gifts to further God's kingdom, and it calls us to be active participants in our faith. Well, this requires an assessment of God's gifts. For Ben and I, very early in our marriage, it meant a reassessment of how we defined our wealth. It meant looking beyond our bank statements and the way our culture defines wealth, which I'm going to be honest, that was not easy. We were not rich on paper. But this reappraisal challenged us to take a true inventory of all of the gifts God had given us. And what we realized was how wealthy we really were. And this reassessment also taught us to be thankful for the gifts we had been given and open to the gifts that God had ready for us. I like to say to my kids, you should never live your life on absolute terms. Never. Always. Because you might miss out on a wonderful gift, a treasure God has personally and purposefully selected just for you. My husband, Ben, is one of the treasures God has entrusted to me. Ben and I have been together for more than half of our lives. He's my best friend. And we just recently celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary. We are thankful for each other and for the sacrament of marriage, which continues to bring us closer as a married couple. A sacrament that asked us to invite the gift of children. And well, we've accepted many invitations, some planned, some surprises, but we kept saying yes to God's plan for us. And we have been blessed and entrusted with 7 children. And I'm proud that 6 of those are here today with us at Mass. God has also entrusted me with many talents and the confidence to leverage them every day at work and to provide for my family, and at home to enrich our family life. Luke 12:48 states, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked." God continues to entrust Ben and I with so many gifts. And as Catholics, we are called upon to use our gifts, our treasures, our talents, to further God's kingdom. And this requires us not just to be thankful in prayer, but also through our actions.
I look for ways to use my gifts to further God's kingdom in my everyday actions. I'm not a shy Catholic. I wear my faith on my sleeve. I'm vocal about our faith. I want to be an example that draws others to our faith to grow our community. I do this through my vocation as an usher, helping to ensure that everyone feels safe upon returning and participating in Mass. Catholic stewardship is also about making thoughtful financial contributions to support the vitality of our church. Sharon and I continue to reevaluate our gifts and challenge ourselves in our role in helping resolve the deficit we're experiencing at St. Mary due to the impact of COVID-19. But it's important for me not to leave my faith at the door of the church. I also show God my gratitude for his gift of my family through my role as a stay-at-home dad, working every day to be a good dad and a man my children are proud of, not just by raising them in the faith, but by being truly present. I am proud to watch each of them mature in their own faith lives and excited in the ways they have embraced their role as good stewards of our faith and community. And I embrace the opportunities to talk to friends and some of my children's friends curious about what it means to be a Catholic and inviting them to join our family for Mass.
Catholic stewardship requires us to be people of faith and action. It requires us to make right choices, not easy ones. It requires us to be ambassadors of our faith in our everyday lives, applying our talents in our home lives and work lives, being a reflection of God's plan, not pop culture. But most importantly, it requires us to take true inventory of all the gifts that God has entrusted to our care by being an active Catholic 7 days a week, not just on Sundays, and using our time, our talents, and our treasures to further his kingdom, his vision for this wonderful world he created and entrusted to our care. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben and Sharon. This week you will receive in the mail a letter from me along with a pledge card for this coming year's offertory program, 2021. I ask that you reflect upon what Ben and Sharon shared this morning, read my letter, and make a conscious decision as to what percentage of your income you will pledge to your parish in this coming year. There's no fairer or just way to do this than to work with a percentage, to tithe. Strictly speaking, a tithe is 10%. Here at St. Mary's, we've tried to set the goal at 5% of one's income to the parish. The other 5% to other charities which you feel you wish to support and encourage. In this way, we all are making a very conscious decision to be good stewards, to take what God has entrusted to us and to use it for the benefit of the larger community. All the many good things that occur here at St. Mary are only possible because of the contributions made through the weekly offertory program. So again, I take time, pray about this, and then return your pledge card next week by simply inserting it in one of the collection boxes. You can mail it back to the parish or drop it off at the parish office, any way you wish to do that. In doing so, you will also be helping the Finance Council to be able to make good decisions as to the amount of income that will be expected in this coming year. Thank you.